Good morning, I'm your host BKP, and welcome to the new game show, Who Hates the Jew? That will be our topic this morning. Just saying. Who hates the Jew? Well, wait a minute. I better slow down there. I'm just saying. The media's heads are spinning off because the president said Democrats hate Jews. Oh my God. So do those Egyptians. And the list goes on. I think we need to do a game show. Who hates the Jew? Who is the Jew? I'm sorry. It's just wrong, but it's good to be back this morning. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Tell them how they can get in touch with the show, Josh. And be a contestant today on our new game show. There you go. There's a phone number on the bottom and the email address and all of the social media ways you can follow the show. You can text us at any time. 40 degrees here in LJ. That's good. 8:02 this morning on the screen. So that's the way you can get in touch with the show right there. I want to thank Rick and Bruce yesterday for doing an outstanding job filling in. I appreciate you guys very much when you jump in here and do that for me. I appreciate that. But it's good to be back. And yes, we will get into it a little later in the show. But, Donald Trump said Democrats hate Jews. And I will tell you this, I for one, and I know many out there, I for one, years and years wondered why the Jewish vote has not moved over to the Republican side. I just wonder, I think the Jewish vote is moving to the Republican side. I think the black vote, maybe not as fast as some of us want, but I think the black vote is moving over to the Republican side. I'm telling you, they're nervous. We're not getting the women. We're really losing badly with women wearing genitalia-shaped headgear. They're not moving over to the Republican side. But I will tell you, black Hispanics are moving over, whether you want to believe it or not. They're moving over to the Republicans. Some not as fast as others. But the Jewish community, we'll call it the Jewish community. Who hates the Jew? Donald Trump said Democrats hate Jews. And I'll tell you what really knocks the Democrats out sometimes, folks, is when Trump exposes the truth, okay? When he exposes the truth. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff this morning. We have 2 hours. 2 hours this morning. It is Tuesday. Now, Nancy Pelosi says, let's see what number, let's go to number 30. We're going to discuss this in detail, okay? Speaker Nancy Pelosi there, number 30. I'm not for impeachment. Interesting. This is news, people. You better listen. I've been thinking about this. Impeachment is so decisive to the country. Oh, they want to unify now. Now they want to unify the country. It's decisive. Why I don't think I'm for impeachment right now. Number 31. Speaker Nancy Pelosi went on to say, and this is at 5:01 a.m. Eastern time. I mean, they right out of the box this morning. This is the water they are carrying. That unless there's something so compelling. Now, the reason I say this and I pause and take my time, you got to watch these words, so compelling. See, unless there's something so compelling and overwhelming and bipartisan. I mean, unless the Mueller report comes out and says something, or unless Adam Schiff or Jerry Nadler, or unless we get, remember they're looking for those tax returns, something so compelling, so overwhelming, and bipartisan. I don't think we should go down that path because it divides the country, and he's just not worth it. Number 32. Evidence not there yet for Trump impeachment, says Adam Schiff, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and Jerry Nadler, chairman of the Judiciary Committee. So, is it time for a big exhale from Trump supporters? A big exhale for Republicans? Is it time as a country we just exhale and say impeachment's off the table? Where do you think that's going? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think the Democrats, how do I put this? Well, I know this much. Nancy Pelosi's got a better... Nancy Pelosi has a bigger set than Mitch McConnell any day of the week. I'm telling you. Pelosi can do... She will not back down. And the Democrats' long game, okay? All right? Their long game is much better than the Republicans any day of the week. I do not care how angry people get with me. The Republicans back down every time. And this woman right here, number 22, CNN, he's just not worth it. Number 22 there. Pelosi, 5:05 a.m. Eastern Time. He's just not worth it. House Speaker says she is not for impeachment of Trump. Are they switching to not for impeachment to... I'll tell you what, I want to go over that in the next segment. Let me tell you what else I want to talk about. What if, and this is not... When I drive in and I feel like I'm going to have to take Republicans to task... I feel the pain. I say, well, in that nice little drive I have in the morning, I don't want to come on here and take Republicans to task. I don't want to run them down. But I can't, there's days when I can't carry Republican water. And number 29. Now, before we get into the depth of the budget, Trump unveils record $4.7 trillion budget. Calls for an increase to defense spending, cuts in domestic programs. All right? And I have it here. It'll be up just a second. We'll have, let me get the one I want. Here's what Nancy Pelosi said. Now let's go to number 11 first. Here's what Chuck Schumer said on the budget. Okay? Chuck Schumer said this on the budget. Schumer on Trump's 2020 budget proposal. The Trump administration's latest budget proposal is a gut punch to the American middle class and a handout to the wealthiest few and powerful special interests that would worsen income equality. So the budget would ask for somebody to work 20 hours a week to get any kind of government assistance or do something. Here's what Pelosi said. Now, the reason I wanted to save Pelosi for right now, put up number 10, is because this is where the appropriations come from. No matter how much you like or dislike, appropriations come from right here. Pelosi on Trump's 2020 budget proposal. The cruel and short-sighted cuts in President Trump's budget request are a roadmap to a sicker, weaker America. House Democrats will reject this toxic, destructive budget request, which would hollow out our national strength and fail to meet the needs of the American people. Dead on arrival. Now you see, she's speaking for House Democrats will reject this toxic. Okay? Now, what if? Let's paint this picture. What if Donald Trump was, what if President Donald Trump was President Barack Hussein Obama? What if, okay? And what if Nancy Pelosi, a Democrat, what if Republican President Donald J. Trump, let's go there all the way, was Democrat President Barack Hussein Obama, and Democrat Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was Republican Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, and the budget went down to Paul Ryan? What would happen then? Would Paul Ryan pass a big enough budget with no shortfalls to make sure Obama got anything and everything he wanted to get out of town, to do nothing to disrupt the election process? Would Paul Ryan take the one that John Boehner handed him and not call it toxic, but call it a cake, and it was baked in the cake on his desk when he got there? Would he? Would Paul Ryan take it and say House Republicans will reject it? Absolutely not. Why, when Paul Ryan became Speaker of the House, okay? Now look at Nancy there. I know it's bothering you, but she already told the House Democrats will reject this. It's done. It's over. She didn't say it's on my desk. She didn't say it's baked in. She didn't say I don't want to disrupt the 2020 presidential process and hurt the candidates out there with a budget battle. Oh, no, she didn't say that. But Paul Ryan, let me tell you what Paul Ryan did for Barack Hussein Obama, the Republicans. Remember, John Boehner put a budget on his desk and we had to hear it was baked in the cake and it was there and he couldn't go back. What Paul Ryan did is he went to your Republican representatives and he said, do you want a committee seat? Do you want to be a committee chair? Do you want to be a big kahuna around here? You want to be a big shot? This is what you got to do. And you have to ignore. What did Paul Ryan do? You got to ignore it's an omnibus. You got to ignore the people back home are going to kick your ass and run against you. This is the first one. This is the first one, John Boehner. And they did. The Republicans lined up. If you think the Republicans lost the House of Representatives in 2018, you're wrong. They lost the House of Representatives way back. You go look at the slow losses Republicans started to lose in elections that got up to 2018. Excuse me for this. So, what did Paul Ryan do? He told your representatives, you vote for it. I don't care if it is an omnibus bill. So they did. And then a bunch of Republicans got primaried over it. And some Republicans didn't make it in the primary because they were told by their speaker they better vote for it. Not that Paul Ryan had the nerve to say, this is toxic. No. Then what happened? Rolling right along, Ryan kept putting some CRs in place. I mean, if we just go through the depth of it, Barack Hussein Obama did not have the budget difficulty at all. Nothing. President Trump has done absolutely nothing since he became president that he hasn't had to fight two parties. You will know, sir, no matter what you tell me, two parties he's had to fight from day one. Ryan put a budget in place for Barack Hussein Obama to get all the way through to help Hillary Clinton, because the last thing that Ryan was going to face in the election was another continuing resolution, debt ceiling, the CR, continuing resolution. Nope, he said, let's just pass it to where The last year in office, Obama can have anything he wants. Trump comes into office the first 2 years. He passed these balloon budgets, massive balloon budgets. Never gave Trump anything he needed that he promised in the election. Paul Ryan did it on purpose. He did not get border wall funding. Don't forget, I am so tired of, let me tell you something. If the Democrats take the Senate, oh yeah, you don't, oh no, that won't, okay. If the Democrats take the Senate, if the Democrats take the White House, and you wake up January 1st of 2021, and there's a Democrat in the White House, there's a Democrats in the Senate and Democrats in the House, whoever controls the Senate, Chuck Schumer or whoever it will change it to nuclear option the next day. They will start shoving bills through. They will start shoving bills through the House because they know they've got 2 years, okay? They got 2 years before the next midterm. They'll shove bills through the House. They'll pass them with a simple majority, 51 votes in the Senate. If they have it, not 60, they'll move them along. Their president will sign it. And then they'll change the rules back right before the election. I'm telling you right now, you watch and see what happens. I'm just telling you, for 2 years, Paul Ryan promised our President of the United States. Now he sends a budget over, and it's going to be dead on arrival. What if Obama sent a budget to Paul Ryan? It would pass in a minute. I'm sorry, I'm not for the trillions of dollars in a budget. All right, I'm not 4-point-something trillion. I'm not for that. I mean, I'm tired of these 4.7 or whatever it is $1 trillion budgets. But I'll tell you this much: wouldn't have had this problem if Obama was sending them to Paul Ryan. I mean, there's days when a Democrat's best friend is Republicans, just absolutely. And I tell you what, you keep pushing, and I'm just going to go here. You keep pushing the Senate, not the Senate. You keep pushing socialism, and you think, Republicans think that is what's going to scare. That's what's going to scare the American people away from a Democrat candidate is socialism. You want to be careful on that. I don't know that the American people are afraid of what Democrat socialism or what some of these people are talking about that you think. I hope you're right. Let me ask you something. Federalizing elections. It's coming. Federalizing elections. Our governor in Georgia, Brian Kemp, called on the carpet for what? What they're calling voter suppression and purging the voter rolls. Would you have thought that Georgia would be the place where they would be using Georgia as an example, and it would be Stacey Abrams and Eric Holder in Georgia putting that example together to federalize elections? I don't know. I'll take a break. Let's talk about, when I come back, let's talk about impeachment, okay? I will talk about impeachment and what the Nancy plan. Let's see what the Nancy plan, let's break that down, see what you think. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break, Josh. Good morning.